It's funny how my brain still thinks that, the Howard Jones era of Killswitch Engage was longer than Jesse Leach, but he's been in the band for more than 10 years now since he's been back. And it's hard for my brain to comprehend that. It's kind of wild. But hey, we're here. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Matt Diazable coming at you with a new music review. Thanks for coming on by. I talk music. I appreciate you coming by. And today we are talking about the latest Killswitch Engage album called This Consequence. I feel like Killswitch Engage doesn't really need an intro in the metal world, but if you've never heard about this band, they are a metalcore band based out of Massachusetts. I don't know exactly where in Massachusetts, but I think they are from Massachusetts, but the Northeast area of America, and have been a band since about 1999. They're known for having very melodic and very good harmonizing choruses with some really engaging and chuggy-like riffs through the verses and everything. Very pummeling drums and deep bass playing. They are one of the forerunners of, the new American metalcore metal scene back in the early 2000s, and have been just going strong ever since then. This is I think maybe 9th or 10th studio album. They've put out so much work, and like I said before, their main vocalist here, Jesse Leach, on this album, he left in their early career. They got another singer called Howard Jones, who I got introduced to this band through the Freddy vs. Jason soundtrack with the song I think When Darkness Falls. Oh, great track, amazing song. And since then, I've been a fan of the band for the past 20 years. They've always put out incredible work. I don't think I've ever actually seen them live. If I ever get a chance, or if anyone could hook me up, let me know when they come through, help me out with a show. I would love to see them live. But yeah, excited to talk about this new album, This Consequence, especially since when I was listening to this album, I also listened to that new album from Lisa from Blackpink, and I felt the big contrast between that album and this album in terms of having overall substance to it. Killswitch Engage has always thrived on the balance between, melody and aggression with their music. And with this latest album, This Consequence, after decades of being in the game of metal and just putting out music, they are still delivering a very emotionally crushing album while also sonically devastating. From the very start of the first song on this album, called Abandon Us, things kick off in a very great fashion by having some really deep and primal screams and a very big wall of groovy, nasty riffs. The band has just, set the stage for this album to have a very raw and refined feel to it. So I want to play a clip of Abandon Us so you get a sense of just the energy you're getting here. Straight classic Killswitch sound right there, right from the get-go. It's nice. And as I was listening to this album, I noticed that the mix, it was kind of muddled at times, but in a cool way, it enhances the album by giving it a lot of grit to it. So it overall has a very darker tone with this record. This is an album that just really leans into its density, and whether it's more of a hardcore infused style song on Where It Dies, or more of a feral metal energy on The Fall of Us, every song on here feels very emotionally and just very weighted. There's a lot of feelings being put into these songs. I feel like it doesn't feel so throwaway. So I want to play a clip of The Fall of Us so you get a sense of that weight and density they're putting into their songs. I realize how much we've lost. Your word, forsaken betrayal. It's on my side that I stand strong. You let the bitterness get you. It's the death of my trust. 20 years into the game and they're still heavy. Impressive. What really stands out about this album is how Killswitch Engage is still able to utilize their signature elements in new and dynamic ways. Like on Discoherent Nation, they dialed back the melody on here, but really pushed that pure aggression they have. The thick buzzing bass playing here with the fast and unrelenting drumming really fuels the track, and it feels like a direct response to the opening song, Abandon Us, by being more grand and just more emotionally weighted, which is how intense and aggressive it can sound. So here's a clip of that for you right now. Creating a nation with control, but fear and alienation. Kill your sympathy in this discoordination. Yeah, I know they pulled back on the. I said they pulled back on the melody, but like they still have it. But the aggression during the verses is very unmatched here. They really like found a good niche with their sound here. Earlier, I was saying some things like, comparing this album to Lisa of Blackpink's debut album she just dropped recently. I listened to these albums back to back, and this song right here really gave me a contrast of how, like, yeah, they're a metal band, but they're saying so many passionate and just very relatable things. Because, I think this song's pretty obvious about how, United States are very split in terms of political, emotional, and just overall feelings with everyone, and so it feels more relatable than something that Lisa was putting out about, just being famous and rich and everything. So that's the one thing about Killswitch that's always been good. They've always been able to be relatable and just make people, you feel emotion with their songs if you really listen to the lyrics and just what they're saying and playing here. Jesse Leach's vocal delivery here is nothing short of just commanding. When he lets loose, like on the song Forever Aligned, his guttural lows just, they match the song's energy and suffocating heaviness. But he's also able to shift into some more cleaner melodies like on I Believe. So it brings a lot of like clean and refreshing moments on this album. And then, later they'll plunge back into some more vicious style vocals. And it all just flows very nicely. He's been doing it for 20 years now. He has himself locked in, and it's nothing to him at this point. I think another strength about this album is that the band is able to weave in and out of different styles and influences without losing any cohesion with their sound. The Fall of Us opens up with like a blast of almost black metal intensity, while there's a stark contrast to that sound with a more slower, groovier driven stomp of Collision, which uses more like layered rhythm guitars to create a very hypnotic and crushing atmosphere. Also, like on Broken Glass, it takes its time to unfold with its slow, pensive guitar work here. Then it just gives way into a storm of emotion, mirroring the lyrical pain explored on the song Discoherent Nation. They mirror each other very well. I gotta say, throughout the record, the rhythm section of the band is very crucial in terms of like reinforcing the sheer weight of the songs on this record. The bass, especially on tracks like Forever Aligned and Where It Dies, it rumbles like an earthquake, just giving every riff a sense of depth to it that just sounds amazing. The drumming, while sometimes can feel like it's buried in the mix, like on the song Discoherent Nation, it is consistently tight and dynamic, shifting seamlessly, like perfectly between high-speed fury, like on Aftermath, or more snappy, militant precision, like on Collision. So it's very well balanced. The breakdowns on this record hit with like a very good purpose, especially on the song The Fall of Us, which ends with a very monstrous, disgusting groove that I think might be one of their newer, more favorite live songs that they're going to play for sure. And then you have the closing track here at Requiem, which feels like a very classic metalcore song. Like I feel like they're paying homage to their own genre here by having a very groovy swing to it, while also having some of the most memorable headbanging riffs on the record. The cymbal-heavy drum patterns and the deep blacksmith anvil-like bass lines really drive this song forward, providing a very strong and very like anthem-like send-off to this album that really, ties everything up nicely and beautifully. It's a fitting closer for an album that thrives on contrast between melody and brutality, between raw emotion and refined musicianship. It does its job really well, this final song, Requiem. This consequence feels like accumulation of everything Killswitch Engage does best. It's aggressive yet melodic. It's raw but polished, heavy yet deeply emotional. And the only criticism that I would have to say here is like it is muddled at times in terms of the mix, but it kind of adds to the overall finer details to this album ultimately working in its favor. Every track on this album has its own identity, but when they're put together as one whole project, it feels like a very seamless, emotional, resonant journey. This is Killswitch Engage at their most seasoned and focused moment in their career, possibly. A band that continues to, evolve while staying true to their roots. I'm thoroughly impressed by them, always have, and they continue to not disappoint. And this album, this consequence, is another great chapter in their career. So I got to give it up to the boys. This is a nice and decent and good 9 out of 10. The boys did it. They brought it home. They're killing it. Links down below. Tell me what you think about this album. Tell me about what you think about Killswitch. What's your favorite Killswitch album? Your favorite Killswitch song? Like, subscribe, comment. I appreciate it. And until next time, guys, I will see you in the pit.